Colin Kapernick kneeling during the national anthem in protest to police injustices against African Americans have grown into a national controversy. Many athletes across the sport have joined in the movement, and still others are trying to figure out whether they should kneel or stand on the issue. Coaches and athletes here at Old Westbury are also dealing with the same related issues.
I would definitely support a teammate that has decided to kneel during the anthem. I might actually kneel with him.
Alan McDonald knows there might be a price to pay for what some see as protesting the flag.
I would definitely be willing to take consequences and criticism from fans and my teammates for something I believe is right.
To date, there is no official policy from Old West Athletics that enforces a standard that players should follow during the national anthem.
In regards to players sitting or kneeling during the national anthem, we do not have a department policy. It hasn't really been discussed yet. On the Colin Kaepernick kneeling protests, obviously we're all for supporting protests. It's something that as Americans we take great pride in that.
Athletes using their platform in sports to address social injustices is not unique in history, according to American Studies Chairman Jermaine Archer.
The 1968 Olympics, where those athletes, those track athletes, Tommy Smith, John Carlos, and Peter Norman, I believe, who were sort of calling attention to all the ills that were happening in 1968, and then of course Muhammad Ali. Who was sort of protesting how African Americans were treated during the 60s and his stance against Vietnam. I think we could talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, were engaged in politically calling attention to social justice.
And what is the message?
It's really about the loss of life, and that's really what we should call attention to, and that gets lost in translation, that people are dying. He started to kneel, right, because people that lost their lives could never kneel again.
But not everyone agrees sports should be a platform for social injustice issues.
I think that they should probably stick to playing basketball, and if they want to do the other stuff, they can do it on the side, like go work in communities and do everything else.
Still, players are finding their voice on Kaepernick.
And during the national anthem, the kids last year kind of locked arms, sort of hugged, each other together. And stood in a line. To them, they felt that was like unity.
He's also fighting for our rights, so that makes him more of an icon.
Will Alan McDonald kneel during the anthem at a future game?
The thought has definitely crossed my mind a lot.
From the Clark Athletic Center, I'm Saborne Judge, and this is OWTV News.